Hey, Team Impact, good morning, good afternoon, whenever it is for you. We're going to get started here. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. We do have a quiz tomorrow. It will be, and it's posted on Schoology, so make sure you take a look at it and see what's all over it. Today's lesson will not be on the quiz. And today's lesson is greatest common factor and least common multiple, and we're just going to use the calculator for that. I'm going to show you how to do that. We do have con due tomorrow. And we did review for the quiz before this lesson because this is going to be pretty short. So let's go ahead and get started here. Anyway, greatest common factor. We're looking for the greatest number that goes into both of these. Now, to do this, all right, we'd have to list all the factors, but this is a pretty low-level thing, and it's something that our calculator will do. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn our calculator on and fire it up. So we're looking for the greatest number that goes into both of these. All right. All right. One of the common numbers would be 6. All right. But your calculator will do this pretty quick. So let's just go ahead and do this. So what you're going to do is find that math button right there. Okay. And your math button reads the greatest common factor as the GCD. So we're going to come down to that and hit enter. All right. And we're going to enter the number 60, right? And then we're going to hit second decimal. And that gives us a comma. That separates the numbers. And then we enter the number 36, and we hit enter. So the greatest common factor of these two numbers is 12. 12 times 5 will go into that, is 60. And 12 times 3 is 36. Let's go again. 27 and 63. We're looking for the greatest number that goes into both of these. So enter 27, second, comma, 63, whoops, and there it is. And you see the biggest number is 9, right? 9 is the GCF. 9 times 3 and 9 times 7 is 27 and 63. Okay? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Over here to number 2. What's the greatest number that goes into 15 and, oops, I forgot to hit the math button, down to GCD, 15 and 45. And it is 15. 1 times 15 gives me 15, and 3 times 45, 15 gives me 45. So looking at that, that's pretty easy. That's not a problem. Okay? Okay. Let's do one more here with 9 and 16. Hit math, come down to GCD, 9 second decimal. Oops. 9 second decimal. 16, and the greatest number that goes into both of those is 1. And we call that relatively prime because the biggest number that goes into both 9 and 16 is only 1. That's the greatest common factor that goes into both of those, right? So that's relatively prime. All right, so let's come down here to some triple stacks, okay? And the triple stacks are interesting because it's 12, 20, and 56. All right, so to do a triple, you find the GCF of these two, take that GCF, and then use it for 56. What do you mean? Turn your calculator on, come down to GCD, hit enter. All right, so let's enter 12 and 56. And we see the greatest common factor is 4. Now, what I'm going to do is compare 4 and 56. So I go back to GCD. I enter the number, oops, hit the wrong button, down to GCD. I enter the number 4, and I hit second comma, and I enter the number 56, and the greatest number that goes into both of those is 4. So the biggest number that goes into all three of these is 4. 4 times 3, 4 times 5, right? And the last one is 4 times 14, right? That's 56, that's 20, and that's 12. Okay? I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because this is a pretty low-level thing, just like dividing decimals or dividing whole numbers. Let's do one more, and then let's go to LCM. Hit math, come down, hit enter. Enter 36 and 54. And we get 18. Now I'm going to compare 18 and 72. All right, what's the greatest number that goes into 18 and 72? And, ooh, sorry, that was 8. I put 8 in, so I've got to start over. I apologize. Let's come down again. 18. Sometimes you hit these buttons and it doesn't work. And 72, and you'll see that the greatest number that goes into all three of these numbers is 18, right? So looking at that, you can kind of see where it is. 2 times 18 is 36, right? 3 times 18 is 54. And then, what, 4 times 18 is 72. So the greatest number that goes into all of those is 18. Okay? All right, so for homework on that, I would just want you to quickly take a look at this. You're going to do on the homework 10, the greatest common factor. You're just going to do these 5 problems. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Right? And in class, I'll probably break it up, have them do those, check it, and then we'll go to LCM. But since I got you online, let's flip to LCM. Okay? Now, this is lesson 11. 10 and 11 are related. They're very easy, and they're the same exact thing except for one minor detail. Okay? We're going to look for the least common multiple. So by counting by these numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We're looking for the smallest number that appears in both lists. It's 18. But we can use our calculator, and I think we need to know how to do that, so let's clear it. Hit the same button as math. Okay? Now, you're going to notice that we were using the GCD for the greatest common factor. We're going to use the LCM. So hit LCM. And we're going to enter the numbers 2 and 9. Hit 2 and separate it with a comma just like you did before, and hit 9 and hit enter. And you're going to get the least common multiple of 18. Let's go with 16 and 24. What is the LCM, or least common multiple, of those two? Set it up, 16, second decimal, 24, enter, and you end up with 48. So the smallest number that both of these go into is 48. Next one up. Hit math. LCM. Enter. 8, second decimal, 20, and the smallest number is 40. Write it down. Okay? So looking at that, we're in pretty good shape. Okay, now let's take a look at this triple stack. Okay, so the triple stack has 4, 6, and 9. If we were to count by those numbers, what would be the first number that appears in the list, right? And it's going to be the same process as we did with the GCF. Hit math, use the LCM button, enter 4, second decimal, 6, and you end up with 12. So the least common multiple of these two numbers is 12. So now we need to compare those two. Do the exact same thing. Hit enter, hit 12, second decimal 9, and you're going to see that the LCM of those two numbers is 36. So the smallest number that all three of these go into is 36. Okay? We're going to do one more. Let's flip it over here. Okay? Just to make sure that we're in good shape. Number 5. All right? We're looking for the LCM of 6 and 14. What's the smallest number that both of those go into? Hit the math button. Come down to LCM. We need 6, second decimal, We need 14, enter it, and we get 42. So, again, I'm not spending a lot of time on this. We're not going to do the rest of these in class. I just wanted to go over this. This is more of a calculator thing than anything. Let's go back to the homework, and let me reiterate. Homework 10, you had to do the odds, so there was 5 problems on that first page. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now, let's go to the next page, and it's homework 11. And it's the exact same thing, except for it's on homework 11. We have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay? Con is due tomorrow. We have a quiz tomorrow. It's getting busy in here. Have a good day.